look at the running game. Cliff talked about the tandems that they had, and the game has changed a little bit. Not too many tandem runners anymore. I think, Bud, you're absolutely right. Teams may pick out the key guy, but they don't equalize it. But the Browns are pretty good because of the equalization of it. With Chubb, here you go, 5 games. Without Chubb, he's got 4, record of 4-1, record of 2-2, and rushing per game, 209 when Chubb is there. Without him, it's 95. Not that much of a difference. Rushing TDs, how about that? 9 and 0. But there again, Bud, you talk about stats, and all Chubb has to do is step in the end zone, and he gets a nice stat of us, whatever that yardage was for a touchdown, and it doesn't show up anywhere.
Yeah, that should be 10 touchdowns and with him as opposed to 0 without him. But
and by the way, listen, I hope if there's a clause in his contract for a certain extra money for a certain amount of touchdowns, somebody ought to just give it to him for what he did.
Well, it's funny you bring up the contract, Les, because we know that they've paid Kareem Hunt now. He got his contract. Granted, it wasn't a lucrative one for a running back because of his situation and some of the issues he's had. The Browns will have to make the call on Nick Chubb, and I think it's one of those that you might question like the value of a running back in 2020, and do you make him do you tie up a lot of salary cap money in a running back when you're going to have to pay a quarterback and all this other stuff? But I think he's such a team player, and I know that sounds corny, but I think everybody in that locker room looks up to him. If he didn't get a good offer from the Browns to stay after what he's done, I think it could really be one of those things that hurts the team overall, not just on the field.
And you just wonder what analytics play in on that.
Sure.
Because you look at the position and say, well, it's not as it's an overriding position that gets enough or doesn't get enough share of the money that comes in. But maybe a great runner. What does he get? 5 years, maybe, tops.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna look at where he was drafted, right? He was drafted there because that told you everything that the organization thought of running backs versus quarterbacks and other other playmaking players.
Right.
So he's in his defense, he's going to want to cash in. I mean, he wasn't a top 10 draft pick, and he wants to be paid like one, and he should be. But I just don't. It's hard for teams to pull the trigger on that when they haven't already, decided on their quarterback and some other players that they know that they're going to want to keep.